So today we're going to use that plan to write our own character description. We'll try to show how they're feeling without just stating how they feel directly. And this will be using your inference skills in writing. So when I come to write, thinking first, I don't want to say the elf. The reason for that is that's telling someone directly who this person is. And I want to use my inference skills. So I'm going to start with the creature stood blended into the, I want to use an expanded noun phrase to talk about the forest. So the forest needs to be peaceful, resting forest, full stop. The creature stood blended into the peaceful resting forest. Right, I'm going to make that in black so it's easier for you to see. There we go. Good starting sentence. I'm now going to talk about her dress. So in my plan, I called it her flowing dress. So her flowing dress merged with the forest floor. Now I want to use a fronted adverbial. So drifting towards her, comma, her pet owl, so I talked about that before, silently flew to her hand. Just checking it now. The creature stood blended into the peaceful resting forest. Her flowing dress merged with the forest floor. Drifting towards her, her pet owl silently flew to her hand. She's some adjectives. I might use commas in a list here. She was daring, bold, and powerful. Because she was incredibly, it's a good adverb, protective of her home. So now I know it without saying it, that she's someone that looks after the home, that she is almost at one with the forest. Her dress merges into the floor without saying directly that she looks after all the animals in the forest. She's an elf. She has leaves on her dress. These are all inference skills. So I'll go on to her mind now, I think. Her thoughtful mind, that was on my plan. Her thoughtful mind always looked after nature first. Now, I'm going to start with her golden cape that draped across her back was famous throughout the forest. Okay, so then I've used her thoughtful mind and her golden cape. Well, maybe I want an adjective before. I'm going to put an adjective in because I don't like was famous throughout the forest, was famous throughout the vast forest, I think is better. Yeah, that gives more detail about the vast forest. And lastly, I'm going to talk about her eyes. Her bright blue eyes darted around the forest as she searched for animals who needed help. For animals who needed help. I'm going to put for small animals because then they sound a bit more defenceless. For small animals who needed help. Here, if I gave you that as a character description, you'd be able to tell me about the character and personality of that creature without it being explicitly told to you. And that's what we do with inference skills.